Hello, my forever awesome viewers. I am back, and here's what I have to show for what I've done so far. We got agility up to 18, that's amazing for what it's worth. We got HP up to 70, we got MP up to 24. Still not the highest that I would really like to have. Defense and agility are 11 and 18, respectively. Now, here's something interesting that I want to let you in on about. My little secret. In my original playthrough, I don't think I was even that high when I finally beat the boss, so it's kind of a little over the top. Anyway, I got Soul Searcher while I was off screen. All that does is it tells you the health of the it tells you like a little bit more about the enemy that you managed to hit with it, but it's random which one it hits. So, yeah. The only other thing is, yeah, this is still the same, and this is the same. So, I'm about to start putting points into wind, but I wanted to actually come back through here again. Yeah, I know it's weird, but actually I need to try to get through this area to an area where our next thing is. And I found out these guys are actually wind elemental, so they're actually weak against I think it's earth and fire. But sadly, fire is so shitty in this game. Like I said before, that it's definitely not worth trying. Yeah, these guys are all wind elements, but I just want to get an attack on them right off the bat. Don't hit the control stick, let him control himself. Ah, Celine's Bell. That's an interesting item. Captivate your enemy with its sound, freezes enemies. I have found that to be very useful. I actually used it in one battle one time, and it was the only thing that kept me alive during that battle. Well, I know I can escape this. There you go. Oh, I need to take the left path first. Now I remember. So, yay me going the wrong way. Yep, I was right. So that does the most damage to these guys. Water works too, but the one that does the most is, of course, earth, it seems. I do need to take this punishment so that I can get my health up. There we go. There actually is a so-called like dungeon in this game. And the funny thing about it is it's actually kind of interesting how there's actually one part in the fight, like in one part of the dungeon where like you can't be attacked. So you can just run circles in that room to get your MP up so that you can, you know, move on without dying. Of course, don't rely on that. Now, I think the sword that would have been in this game that I mentioned before as a weapon that would have gone to one of your other party members. But I do think it'd be really awesome if they would have given you like a metal scepter at some point too. Not just the wooden one that we have. The frog enemy is actually weak to earth and wind, surprisingly, because he's water elemental like I thought. Surprising, like, considering the fact that he uses wind-based attacks, he actually is weak against water. Not weak against water, strong against water, because he is water elemental. And I already told you that kobold is, whatever the fuck you call it, wind elemental. Wow, that was pointless. Yeah, if you know you can survive an attack by a battle by slamming the guy with your stick, it's better to do that so that you can have more magic for healing yourself. Not here. These guys, it's best if you can use rock on them. Of course, probably when it's a little bit stronger too. Now, I don't know if the game takes into consideration which elements you have if you take less damage from them, so I'm afraid that I can't answer that. I think they might have wanted to do that, but it doesn't work that way. That might have been another thing that was lost in translation, so to speak. Oh wait, just stand still. Unless he's right up near you, this attack won't hit you. Okay, I haven't seen... Ah, there it is. So we almost made it to the next spirit thing. Now, here's something very interesting. They do the same amount of damage. I can't believe I forgot to mention that. But I just like to do the slightly bigger attack in some cases just because it makes me feel good, you know? I recommend keeping your health about a little over... Yeah, there we go, that should do. Around that level. I mean, we already seen how much damage these guys can do. Miss! God damn it. Oh god. Yeah! It's finally strong enough to take him out. I shouldn't have to tell you that those guys are wind elemental, though. That's the only attack they have. I want to get this to level 10 before we move on. Trust me, it's actually a really good idea that you get this to level 10 before we meet this boss, because he's actually weak to wind. However, the next boss in the game is actually strong against wind, so that is a problem that you're gonna have. Okay. But if you manage to build up Earth, you should be okay. That flower enemy over there actually has the strongest wind spell. and also has healing too. But if I remember right, if it attacks you, it does tend to have the strongest wind spell. Actually, I guess since it's only healing, let's go ahead and hit it with Soul Searcher so I can see. Oh no, it's Earth Elemental. Man Trap. I could have sworn I remember it hitting me with attacks more along the line of along the lines of wind-based, but I guess not. I guess it doesn't really do anything to you. But you may have noticed right away that the further you get into this area, the more damage you take. Because you get into a lot more fights. Damn it. Sadly, if you miss, then that's it. Oh, actually, it does have a water attack. Okay, never mind. Now I'm happy that I know that, because I totally forgot. Was that the way I was going? Oh, great. Getting lost is the worst thing, because you start heading the wrong direction. Yep. Damn it. You end up getting into unnecessary fights. Oh, I need to get more water soon. My throat's starting to hurt. Now, you might... Another thing you might be asking me is, hey, Mike, is it actually stupid to attack enemies with the same element like you keep doing? Sadly, yes. Because if their element is wind, which I think these are, and you keep attacking them with it, it is possible to die thanks to that. So, yeah, keep that in mind. I haven't hurt this guy at all, have I? Yeah! Get back up to about 40 if we can. Now, I'll tell you a secret. If you ever run out of magic, don't fret. Yes, your magic will not go up while you're in a battle, while running around in circles. But you can sometimes survive one turn. So don't feel obligated to, you know, use like a magic healing item before you move on, just because you're worried that you will get destroyed by their attack. Seven damage. No, we're not even near the area where the next one's supposed to be, so... Wanted to heal up my magic a little bit before I did that. Okay, so there should be one right outside this door. Yep, here it is right here. Okay. Do I feel like we're gonna survive this? No. But might as well. Now there's no enemies in here, so feel free to, like, prepare yourself for this fight. Ugh, God. I'm already taking on the first boss. That's so weird of me. Hold on, let me check this real quick. Okay, no. Just making sure that nothing's going wrong. But this guy does have some pretty interesting dialogue, so here we go. What's this? What business do you have in the castle of Solvereign, king of beasts? Did that fool and Donderon order you to come after me? Idiocy! I stole the Earth Orb and it is all mine. With it, I'll become the ruler of Kineshire. I'll show you humans what real power is. That attack is horrendous against you if you let it hit you. Just keep holding to the right and you should survive. But just remember to stay as far away from him as possible. Like that nice guard recommended. You cannot survive a one-on-one fight with this guy. Now, a problem I have run into with this fight is running out of room, which is possible. Whoa. Restriction will not work on him, in case you're wondering. The boss music is actually kind of neat too. Surprisingly. Wow, that missed me? That time it didn't. What's the other move I had? Silence and evade. We want to evade. Oh, of course. I don't want that kind of evade, bitch. There you go. It also makes your circle a little bit bigger. There! We beat the first boss of the game. Earth Orb obtained. Do not forget this item up here. It's a pain in the butt to get back here, so you definitely want to grab it. Mint leaves, there you go. I think there actually might be a spirit orb in here too, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I might be wrong about that. Let me check the guide. No, there's not. Okay. So, you might be thinking, hey, that's great. If you can beat that boss, you can beat the whole game, can't you? No. That boss is actually kind of a joke. It is semi-possible to take him on early enough, but you would have to know all the secrets about how his attacks work. If you don't know what they are, you will not survive that fight. I can tell you right now, I have died more times to that bastard than I have died to any of the enemies in the game combined, even these enemies in this forest. I was able to survive every attack from these enemies, and I still got killed by that guy. That should tell you something, the first time I played this game. So in case you're wondering, my next plan of focus for attacks is probably just to keep putting up wind. I'm telling you right now. I know I put up earth that one time just for the sake of it, but I don't think we're not getting anything yet from it, so until we get to level 10, like I said. just in case they get close to me. Since they do tend to move every now and then. They actually recommend that, like, I wish I could remember which guide that was. I think it's actually the combat fact, that's what it is. Let's see if it loads. Okay, here's another thing. So, this is where I got this information. HP is the amount of hit points you have. You get 1 experience points for each time you hit an enemy, and you get 1 experience for each time they successfully hit you. So, yeah, getting the shit kicked out of you makes your health, defense, yeah, your health and defense go up like I thought. So let's see. So here we go. Some people say this game, the game is too easy, while others say it's too hard. It really depends on the choices you make. The more you level up your character, the easier it gets. Also, if you only use best spells, then the game will also be easier. Another very important factor is the elements you focus on. If you do water and earth, the game is really easy, but if you pick fire and wind, the game is a lot more challenging. Once you learn enough about the game, it has become really easy, but a lot of other games are the same way too. For the battle system, it's you versus 1 or more enemies. Who gets the first turn is based off agility. So, yeah. Like, I think I could have sworn, like, one of them was, like, one of the jokes was, like, I was talking about your spirit choices or something like that, and it was like taking a joke, and it's like one of them was like, well, here's something you need to know if you want to, like, it's like, what are you doing? It was like one of the jokes that it said basically, and I think it actually might be the Andrew guy that I was in before, wasn't it? Let me see. Oops. No, never mind. But yeah, I could have sworn that, like, one of them made a joke, and it was basically stating that you are stupid if you choose, like, all of, like, fire, basically. And this is something that kind of disappoints me. Forget if I mentioned it or not. But, Wind does eventually get some really powerful single-person attacks. But they actually state that, in some cases, they're really not worth using, and I'm so sad to hear that, because I really hope that they were really useful, you know? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I took a lot less damage from fire before in my previous playthrough, so I really do feel like having more spirit control over fire does help with that. But if that was the case, then his wind attack would do barely anything to me as well. So let's see how our stats went up from that. Defense went up to 13, agility went up to 21. Wow, okay. And now our magic's up to 28. That is just insane. almost one-shot him. Uh-oh. I did not mean to do that, but luckily I missed. 31 damage and the bastard didn't die. Holy crap. You want to hear a secret? From what I've seen so far, the 30s is the maximum amount of damage that I've seen the staff be able to do. That's just saying something real quick for you. A little bit of friendly advice, if you can call it that. I mean, maybe if you just do pure offense the whole time, it might get up higher, but since I usually don't, I like to focus on my spells because I like the animation of that more. I feel like it doesn't do a great job. I'm gonna purposely let some of these hit me if I can. Oh, no. I tried moving a little bit, but it still didn't hit me. Your guys' wind-based attacks suck. There, I got one to technically hit me. Still missed. It's always funny when you whiff with the rock-based attack, which I have done before, so don't think you're the only one. I don't know, maybe I'll start putting points into fire when I get to like 20 wind or something like that. I don't know. Because I do know that there's an enemy later on that just like abuses the shit out of flame attacks. And that's what makes me worried. I want to see if I'm right that that's wind-based. No, she's Earth. Huh. Cool. I do have to admit that I do feel like a lot of the decisions for what enemies have for health and all that was randomly generated in some cases. Like they were just like, you know, let's just quickly put them all in since we're still running on time, you know. Running out of time. I wonder if I can find out who worked on this and see if they're still making games or what they decided to do afterwards. Probably not. Well, I'm just gonna meet you inside of the hotel because that's where I'm gonna be, and then we'll make our way to the castle. Till then, everyone, bye.